Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm very excited to bring you a review of the new Marvel Legends Armadillo Build-A-Figure Integrated Suit Spider-Man. This new Armadillo BAF wave is centered mainly around the Spider-Man No Way Home movie that just came out not too long ago. So naturally, it's going to feature characters primarily from that movie. However, as is the case with most waves, there are some extras from, outside of the theme thrown in there for good measure. And this figure specifically is the figure in the wave that doesn't come with the Build-A-Figure piece. I figure, I'm going to do these in the numerical order in which they're listed on the box, and typically, the BAF-less entry into the wave is the first one listed. So, if you've seen my reviews before, you know this goes. We're going to take a look at Spider-Man's packaging, then we'll open it up, we're going to look at the figure itself, we'll check out his posability, his accessories. I'll cobble together some kind of group shot or comparison today. I don't have any other Spider-Man figures that I've opened yet, so I don't have any other Spider-Man to compare him to, as of now. But we'll get a little creative just so you can get a sense of, detailing, scale, style, all that. And then as always at the end of the video, I'll get my final thoughts. So Spider-Man comes in your standard Marvel Legends packaging. You can see the Build-A-Figure logo up here, Marvel's Armadillo. And then you just see Spider-Man right here in the middle. You got two alternate web shooting hands. And then you just get the logo for the No Way Home movie. You get his name, Inegrated Suit Spider-Man. And this suit is specifically the one that he's wearing at the beginning of the No Way Home movie, where they call it integrated because it is integrated with Stark tech, right? It's not like the full Iron Spider suit. It's kind of a blend of that technology with a more traditional suit. And it's got a lot of really cool little gadgets on it. I really enjoyed the way he used it in the movie. On the sides, you can see this nice little render of Spider-Man just looking up heroically. And then on the back, you get him swinging into action. You get a little flavor text here that says, Spider-Man gears up in his integrated suit to bravely confront a new threat. And I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but it's several new threats. And then down here, we get the Build-A-Figure layout for Armadillo, what parts go where, and then the figures in this wave. So this wave is a real blend. You have 4 movie-based figures, and they actually have them kind of in a color breakdown. So you have the No Way Home figures right here. You have a video game, or what they call Gamerverse figure, and then 2 comic figures. So we get our Integrated Suit Spider-Man, we get our Black and Gold Suit Spider-Man, we get Doctor Strange, which seems to be the mold that the Astral Projection Strange is taken from. At the time I reviewed that, I didn't know where it came from, but it appears to be this one. I don't know if that's the first use of the mold or not, but I'm sure I'll find it eventually. We get J. Jonah Jameson, specifically, his new bald MCU version. I really wish they would have kept the flat top. Really, really wish he still had the flat top. That is iconic for him. But oh well. Then we get Miles Morales, specifically from the game Spider-Man Miles Morales for PS4 or 5, something like that. And then we get 2 comic-inspired characters. We get Mordoon, and then we get Shriek. Shriek, she actually just had a run in the new the Venom 2 movie. Though in that movie she looked very, very different from her comic book interpretation. So this is a varied wave, and it's got, mostly Spider-Man characters as you would expect, and then just some more interesting out there stuff thrown in. Okay, now we get our Spider-Man toy out of the package, and as you can see, this is a pretty bare bones release. We have our little Spider-Man figure, 2 additional hands, and that's it. That's all you get for your 20-something bucks. Can't say I'm super thrilled about how that happened. I get that not every toy is going to have the exact same value for the dollar that, another one will. But boy, this is a low point. And not because it's a bad toy. I mean, this thing looks gorgeous, but there's nothing here. So check this out. The toy's posability is actually pretty phenomenal. It's got a double ball jointed head here, which is nice. He's got butterfly joints in the shoulders, though they don't go very far. They move forward a bit, and they don't move back very far at all. What is cool is he's got these painted details that, kind of make it look like the spider symbol stretches along with him. It's not perfect, but it's better than leaving that area unpainted. He's got universal shoulders, which can go in and out. They can rotate. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double bend elbows, as you can see here. He has universal wrists. He's got an ab crunch, which is on a soft ratchet. Ratcheted waist articulation. He's got universal hips, which can actually go up quite far, which is good. He's got thigh swivel, double bend knees. He's got an ankle rock and rotation. So pretty standard Legends articulation. He's definitely on the higher end as far as articulation goes, and frankly, I wouldn't expect anything, less from Spider-Man, because he's got to be able to get some really dynamic poses in there. That's kind of what he's known for, is being very agile and kind of contorting his body in a lot of different ways. So if he was just an unposable brick, it'd be almost like sacrilege. Now, of course, we got to take a look at those optional hands. So he comes with the closed fists, and you can pop them off and put his web-slinging hands in. One thing I want to show you is his little bracer things here. They actually come off. So you can choose to remove them if you want to. And they do have a bit of a groove right here, so you can they're kind of keyed to place these back on properly, so you know which way they go on. And you just pop the new hand in. Do the same thing on this side. All right. So he's got 2 web shooting hands now. So you can have all kinds of fun with that. You can have him, fighting enemies and shooting webbing at them. You can have him swinging around, doing his thing. If you get real creative, you can actually attach him from a string or something and suspend him up in the air over your collection or your display. He's a very good little figure. He does everything you need a good Spider-Man to do, and he looks fantastic. His sculpted detail, his paint applications are like top-notch. Color choices are phenomenal. I really like him. I just wish there was more of him. Maybe some, web accessories or more optional hands, or maybe a Peter Parker head would have been good. But this is what we get. Here's a fun little group shot of Spider-Man along with some of his MCU Avenger allies. I have gone and borrowed my son's Iron Man again, since I don't have an MCU Iron Man of my own yet. And then we have our Multiverse of Madness wave Doctor Strange right here. And they work well together. They have that, that same aesthetic that the MCU carries, where it's a lot of lines, very much loaded with textured detail, all sorts of colors. And that's one thing I really like, is that you can take pretty much any Legends figure based in the MCU, and it won't look out of place next to any other MCU-based Legends figure. So I think it really works, and I like seeing all these guys together. Now, granted, I think this isn't like Tony's final design, before he bit the dust, but whatever, it's close enough. You get the general idea of what they're trying to accomplish here, and I like it. And I do look forward to fleshing out the collection, getting, more Legends figures, both comic book style and live action style, and just having those fully fleshed out rosters of characters that I can, make great displays out of and really just show off together and enjoy on my shelf. And this completes our look at the new Marvel Legends Armadillo Wave Integrated Suit Spider-Man. Overall, I really, really like this toy. I think it came out very well. The colors, the textures, the design, all that, really fantastic. Excellent posability. I do, however, also think it's a pretty terrible value for what you're getting. He costs the same $22 to $25, depending on where you get him, as all the other figures in the wave. And he's small. He only comes with 1 additional pair of hands, no effects, no build-a-figure piece. So when you compare him to other similarly priced Marvel Legends figures, you're not getting a lot here. And personally, I think that's bad practice to sell a toy that is so skimpy and just charge the same price as you do for something that's much more substantial. I mean, this guy costs the same amount as that Fantastic Four Thing figure, like that thing is a monster. So yeah, it's not great. Now, I get how Hasbro does their budgeting for a wave. They budget for the entire wave at once, right? So that means they set a budget for X number of figures, and they have to split that up between that number of figures. What that means is that you're rarely going to get a symmetrical split across however many figures in that wave. You're going to get some that are better values and then some that are worse. And he is kind of like the worst case scenario. You are getting so little for your 20-something bucks, like it just doesn't feel right. And I don't know why they chose to do it this way specifically. Maybe they're just riding on the name recognition of Spider-Man, because he is Marvel's most popular character. So maybe they figure enough people just see, hey, it's Spider-Man, and it's his main look from that movie, and it looks cool, and they just won't care how much they're paying for it, regardless of, how little they're actually getting. Maybe that's, their thinking, or maybe they didn't even think it through. I don't know. But there isn't a lot here to justify the price. If you don't care about the price, and you just want a really good Spider-Man toy, you will be very happy with this. It's an excellent figure. It's very highly posable, well sculpted, all that. Great, great toy. But you gotta be willing to part with about $22 to $25 to pick it up, rather than maybe like the $15 I think that this is actually worth. So it's really up to you. It's gonna be up to an individual, value basis, plus your budget, finances, all that. If you have the money and you want a cool Spider-Man, I'm not gonna begrudge you for picking this up. I think it's a great toy. Just know that you're not going to be getting a lot. And, if you're okay with that, you'll enjoy it. If you're more economically minded, or, you don't have a whole lot of money to spare, I would spend it elsewhere. There are plenty of other Spider-Man figures out there in the Legends line that will probably give you a lot more for the same price. Of course, this is all just my take on this figure, so now I want to know what you all think of it. Do you think the price is fair? Do you think he's, worth every dime because he's a good figure, or you like Spider-Man? Or do you think it's a ripoff? Do you think it's priced unfairly? And if you do think that, would you still pick him up? Any and all feedback's always welcome in the comments section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to toss it a like. Let YouTube know you want to see more stuff like this. If you do want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. I thank you for joining me for this exciting look at the new Marvel Legends Armadillo Wave Integrated Suit Spider-Man. And with all that said, I will see you next time.